So, let's find out what it will take to end this just rampant crime scene. So with me, or crime spree, I should say, with me now, former D.C. homicide detective Ted Williams and former Las Vegas police officer Randy Sutton. Now, let's start with Randy. You may not remember, but it's been a while. I worked as a local reporter in Las Vegas and remember that you solved many cases out there. So how did the police solve the one in Washington, D.C.?
Well, reference the bombing. It's going to be forensic evidence, the bomb-making materials. The ATF is very, very good at that. And of course, they have surveillance video. The big clue, of course, is the vehicle. They have the license plate number. And where did this vehicle come back from? Is it stolen? Was it utilized from a family member? That's the biggest lead that we have here. The close proximity of the bombings could indicate one person that was motivated by having the opportunity to drive, walk, run. Or it could be a separate individual because the difference in the bomb, there was 2 devices and 1 Molotov cocktail, which is pretty unusual.
So Ted, this is your city, happened in Washington, D.C. No one was hurt with these series of explosions, but someone apparently gets a thrill from throwing those Molotov cocktails and seeing explosions. They're not concerned about injuries, right? That's the urgency with this.
Well, you're absolutely right, and Randy is also right. I think one of the things that are going to help authorities to catch this bomber or bombers are going to be the cameras in the area. They now know what this vehicle looked like. They have the license plates of that vehicle. So what they've now been able to do is to run those license plates. They know if that vehicle is actually stolen. So there are things that authorities have in place, I believe, that will catch these individuals. One of the things we do not know is have these individuals communicated with law enforcement, and do they have some kind of a personal agenda? That also plays and factors into everything that's going on.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. We're going to work on your audio there, but good points there. So it's 4th of July celebration, Randy. The National Mall here in D.C. will be filled with about 700,000 people. What are lieutenants telling their officers in those prep meetings, not just here in the U.S., but also celebrations around the nation?
Well, as people gather, they become, of course, as these crowds get bigger and bigger, they are more susceptible to the kind of attacks that we have seen. The fact that we saw these shootings in Dallas, in Fort Worth, in Philadelphia, in Baltimore, it shows the depraved nature of what is taking place. But there's also more at play here, and that is the bigger picture of the criminal justice disintegration across America. You look at Philadelphia, like Krasner was out there talking about how tough he was going to be on this shooting suspect. Well, he hasn't been tough on any other shooting suspects or weapons suspects in Philadelphia. So we've seen an incredible amount of crime. Same thing in Chicago. They're calling for more laws, but the laws exist already, but they are not taking these laws and they are not putting the people away that are committing these crimes.
Yeah, Randy, I want to drill down a little bit on that. Major cities around the nation you talked about are seeing this culture. The criminal believes that no one will come after them. How do you fix that? Is it a quick fix, first of all? And then where does the change happen? Is it in law enforcement or is it in the DA's office?
Well, that's a great question. The reality is this, that the disintegration has been taking place for a while. The left has been very, very active in what I call the 3 Ds of their strategy, and that's defunding, defaming, and demoralizing law enforcement. And the criminal justice system, unfortunately, has now what I call Trojan horse prosecutors and district attorneys being put in place by millions of dollars from George Soros money. Right. And these attorneys, including Larry Krasner, were put into these positions where they are not prosecuting criminality. They are trying to prosecute police officers. And because of that, we are now seeing the lowering of the numbers of active duty officers. And this is becoming a crisis. In Austin, just yesterday, it was revealed that a retired police officer called 911 5 times for a dead body before a police response could take place, which is, and Austin, of course, was defunded by by another George Soros district attorney there, and the political left of the commission.
It's something that obviously is going to be an issue for a while until that turns around. Randy Sutton, I appreciate it. Ted Williams, also thank you. Sorry we had problems with Ted Williams' audio there, but I appreciate both of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.